The Atlanta Dream are sending two players to the All-Star game. We'll talk about the week that was in Atlanta Dream basketball right here, right now on the ATL Dreamin Podcast. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to another edition of the ATL Dreamin Podcast. And as you can see, I'm not as whole as I usually am because I'm missing my co-host, Miss Yakiri Thomas. So in light of Carrie not being here, I gotta hit you with hello, sports lovelies, as she would normally greet you guys, but she is out this weekend, and so I'm holding down the fort all by myself. But we're gonna get through this. We're gonna stay together as a family, and we're just glad that you guys are tapping in with us on another edition of the ATL Dreamin Podcast. First things first, a big part of what we do is on social media. So make sure that you're following us on all of our social media platforms. If you would like to follow Kira, you can follow her at Chicks Into Sport on Twitter. That is with no S on the end. Make sure you follow her, all of her musings as she covers all the sporting events around the city. You can follow me on X at Hawks Beat, and you can follow the show at ATL Dreamin _pod. That way you'll be abreast as to everything that we have going on with your Atlanta Dream. We are proud to be the only podcast that represents the Atlanta Dream solely, wholly, all Atlanta Dream all the time. So that's how we get down with the get down. And so we're just glad that you took some time out of your schedule to listen to what we have to say. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. It was a week where the Dream only had one game, and so we're going to talk about that one game in just a moment. There is a little bit of news that we have to kind of get out of the way. Shouts out are in order to one Miss Rhyne Howard and one Miss Alisha Gray. The Dream are sending both players to the WNBA All-Star Game this year. It was announced, I think, either a day or two ago that Rhyne Howard will be a fill-in or an alternate or a bench player. Should be coming off the bench. And we also know that Alisha Gray is going to be starting in that game. So, hey, putting on for the city. Putting on for the city, man. We love to see it. We love to see both their players shining. And, man, it's just a beautiful thing, man. Very well deserved. Very well deserved. I would have loved to see the Dream get like 4 players in there, but I will settle for 2. Alisha Gray, of course, she's going to become the first player. I'm getting ahead of myself. Rhyne Howard, this is going to be her 3rd All-Star appearance in just 4 NBA seasons, averaging 16 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. Howard is basically doing everything. And I'm very glad she's getting her kudos because a lot of the stuff that she's doing this year may not show up on the stat sheet, even though she's averaging 16 points. You guys know the beginning of the year, she was playing a lot of point guard and she was trying to distribute. She's already still one of the NBA's better two-way players. She plays defense. She currently leads the league in made three-pointers. And she just delivers on both sides of the floor, man. So shout out to Rhyne Howard, becoming the 4th player in franchise history to earn 3 NBA All-Star selections as a member of the Atlanta Dream. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. Alisha Gray, we talked about her at length last week. More accolades, more wins, more for Alisha, who's just having a phenomenal year. She is the Eastern Conference Player of the Month. She becomes the first player in franchise history to win the award twice in a single season. Listen, you just gotta clap your hands. You just gotta clap your hands, man. You had to clap your hands. Great average, 18 points, 5 boards, 3 assists in the month of June. Shooting 45% from 3, 45% from the field, 41% from 3. And Atlanta was 6-4 in the month of June. So shout out to Rhyne Howard. Shout out to Alisha Gray. As these two go, will be how the Dream go, to be honest with you. This is the head of the snake, man. This is the head of the snake. One of the better duos in the WNBA. So just want to give a shout out to those ladies, and very well deserved as far as their recognition is concerned. Just really quickly, I want to kind of go over some of the rest of the reserves. Let's see here. The rest of the reserves. You have Sanaya Cintron from the Mystics, Skylar Diggins. We mentioned Rhyne Howard. Kiki Arifin from the Mystics. Both of their rookies, their first time making the All-Star team. Kelsey Mitchell having a great year. Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Alyssa Thomas, Kayla Thornton, Courtney Williams, fan favorite, one of my faves. Gabby Williams, Jackie Young, and those are the list of the other All-Star selections. So salute to those ladies, and keep balling, man. Keep balling. It's a beautiful thing to see. A beautiful thing to see. Every week, the WNBA gives out their power rankings. And we usually don't really talk about the power rankings because, it is what it is, right? But I kind of wanted, as I was doing my research for this episode, I was like, let me just kind of take a dab and see where the Dream fall, right? So I look at the latest power rankings at WNBA.com. You can go check out the list yourself. And lo and behold, they have the Atlanta Dream as the third best team in the league. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. Actually, did I say number 4? Let me see. I have number 4 in the marquee, but they actually have a number 3. So if you're watching this, it says number 4, but they actually have them as number 3. They have the number 1 team as the Minnesota Lynx. Fair enough. Number 2, the Phoenix Mercury. And number 3, the Atlanta Dream, followed behind the New York Liberty and Golden State Valkyries. I find that kind of crazy because, I feel like Seattle should be up in there, right? They got Seattle 6, but and we'll talk about Seattle a little bit because that's who the Dream played this week. 3 is a little tough. I think they are in the upper echelon of WNBA teams, though, to be honest. I think they're in that. I think there's Minnesota. Minnesota's clearly at the top, I believe. Maybe New York is kind of a hair under there, but that group of New York, Seattle, Atlanta, those 3, Phoenix, I think all 4 of those are very well and very close together when you're talking about how good those teams are. I still think Minnesota is the best team, but I think that group of teams is very well. I think they're right behind them. I think they are right behind them. So shout out to the Dream, man. Shout out to the Dream. What is next? Power rankings, standings update. So we always do our standing updates on the podcast, and as of now, last week we've only had 1 game since the last podcast, and they dropped that game to the Seattle Storm. But currently, as it stands, Minnesota Lynx are number 1 team in the league, 16-2. Phoenix Mercury are still holding on that 2 spot. They are tied with the New York Liberty. They're both 12-6. And right behind those 2 teams, you have the Seattle Storm and the Atlanta Dream. Seattle's 12-7. Atlanta is 11-7. So those are your top 5 teams, followed by Golden State Valkyries, Indiana Fever, Las Vegas Aces at 8, You got the Mystics and the Sparks at 9 and 10, and holding down the bottom, you got the Wings, the Sky, and the Connecticut Sun. So that is your WNBA standings update. Listen, last year the Dream won 15 games. This year they've already won 11. So like, you have to kind of look at these things with a glass with a grain of salt, maybe. Well, not even really with a grain of salt. You just got to kind of be happy for where the Dream are right now, right? They're playing good basketball. We've suffered through many seasons where it hasn't been this nice after roughly 20 games, but 11 games, they're well on pace to beat their 15 win mark of last season. And you just got to keep on rocking, keep on rolling. Now, the Dream have a tremendous stretch coming up, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. They have one home game this week, and then they're going to have a series of 6 away games. They're not going to have another home game until like the end of July. So I'll get into that a little bit more detail after a little bit later on in the show. But we're about to see what this team is made out of. I mentioned that they lost to the Seattle Storm. We're going to take a look at that game that they lost. It was a heartbreaker. Fall to the Storm, 80-79. A lot of takeaways you can have for that game against Seattle. Number one is just this, and there's a lot of ways we can go with this, but I want to start with the amount of turnovers. Well, first of all, let me say this. If the Dream in Seattle played 10 times, I think that it would probably be a 5-5 split. It will probably be a 5-5 split. Now, Seattle's playing a little bit tough right now. They just beat New York today in a very impressive win. They beat Atlanta, and they're playing some really good basketball. Now, Atlanta was without Ryan Howard, but hey, there's no excuses, man. No excuses at all. However, you cannot turn the ball over 16, 17 times and expect to win a ball game. Simply too many turnovers. 16 turnovers to Seattle's 11. Seattle had 21 points off of turnovers. 21 points after turnovers. And when you lose the game by 1 point, and you look at the game and the metrics and the lines, if you just cut those turnovers, if you just go from like 16 to maybe 12 or maybe 13, then you're winning this game. You're winning this game. You cannot turn over the ball that much against Seattle. However, I will say this. At the same time, you have to credit Seattle, right? Like, they're a team that makes you turn the ball over. They're very good defensively. They're very active. They're very this is a vet-ridden team, man. Like, they know how to get you in spots that make you uncomfortable. So you have to kind of credit to the Storm. But when you're playing the Storm, you cannot turn over the ball 16 times and expect to get a dub, man. You just can't do that. So, like, I think when you break down this game, that's got to be kind of where you start. Again, not making any excuses, but Ryan Howard not being available is a huge problem. It's a huge problem. No disrespect to Walker Kimbrough, who came in and started the game, but you know, let me. I'm not gonna do that. Now, I'm gonna say this as nice as I can. I would have preferred if you just go ahead and start Maya Caldwell. That's just my opinion. I'm not one coaching the team, but Walker Kimbrough gets to start, plays 16 minutes, doesn't score any points. I mean, listen, I'm not picking on anybody, but I'm saying it is what it is, right? And I think that just goes to show you that this Dream team needs a little bit more depth. I don't know what the money looks like. I don't know like what the situation is. I don't know if the roster, if you can only carry this amount of players, but it just seems like they just need like another player or two. Ryan Howard does so much for this team, so much for this team. You just need a little bit more umph there. So I would have preferred to see Maya Caldwell in the starting lineup. Maya Caldwell did play 19 minutes, 6 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 7 boards. I would have just preferred to see her with that starting lineup and see what she can give you. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I also don't know how long Ryan Howard is going to be out. The last thing they sent, a little Amazon sent me something. The last time the Dream sent out a release on Ryan Howard, it just said it was an upper body injury, and they're just taking it on a day-to-day basis. So I don't know how long she's going to be out. Hopefully she'll be returning sooner than later, because you really miss something like that. Again, as far as takeaways, I just would have preferred Maya Caldwell get the start. Also, number 2, I think you got to find more minutes for Coffee and Pow Pow, right? And again, this is easy to say like in hindsight. I know that Coffee is backing up Brianna Jones, and Brianna Jones was a bear. She was a bear. 32 minutes, 18 points, 10 rebounds in that game against Seattle. I don't know if you can you play those two together? I'm not sure, right? Like Coffee, can you play Coffee at the 3 possibly? I don't know. I just want to see Coffee a little bit more than 4 minutes. I just want to see her a little bit more than 4 minutes. I want to see Pow Pow a little bit more than 5 minutes. But, keep in mind, they did all this and they still only lost their game by 1 point. They only lost the game by 1 point. Alisha Gray didn't have the best shooting night. And the person who had it going was Jordan Canada. Jordan Canada, and I've talked about her at length this whole season. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. She just had it going, man. She is just a ball of energy. And it's just good to watch her ball out, man. It's just good to watch her ball out. But they lose a tough one. And again, sometimes you just have to tip your cap to the team that just made more plays. And Skylar Diggins is still one of them ones. She's still one of the ones, y'all. Like Skylar Diggins, big basket late into the game. I think under 10 seconds, Dream weren't able to answer. She gets the layup and puts them up by 1 point. And the Dream weren't able to recover in the final second. So, got to tip your cap to Seattle, but you got to kind of go back to the drawing board and realize what you did, and figure out how you can be better. I don't know how long Ryan's going to be out, but they got to figure something out, because you don't want to start losing in the standings and losing your ground. You don't want to do that. You really don't want to do that. So, prayers up for Ryan Howard. Prayers up for Ryan Howard, man. Prayers up for Ryan Howard. But that was the only game of the week for the Atlanta Dream. So hopefully Ryan's able to get some downtime, able to get some treatment, and hopefully she will be back for their next game versus the Valkyries. Upcoming games for the Atlanta Dream, it looks like this. And I mentioned this earlier. Tomorrow, they're going to be playing their last home game until for 3 weeks. They're going to be playing the Golden State Valkyries. Now, listen, the Valkyries are not playing like your typical expansion team. This team is 9-8. They are 7-3 in their last 10 games. This team is not to be played with. We're going to see the return former Atlanta Dream Monique Billings, you know what I mean? And it's going to be a fun one, man. It's going to be a fun one. I plan to be in the building to be covering that game. But after that game, the next six games are going to be on the road. Now, they're going to be kind of stretched out, so it's not like they're not going to be able to come home. But the next 6 games are all going to be on the road for the Atlanta Dream. So you're going to have to See what it's like on the road. You're gonna have to be road warriors. You know what I'm saying? On the season, the Atlanta Dream are 4-4 on the road. And to me, I think that is where you need to be. If you can win the majority of your home games, 60-70% of your home games, and go 500 on the road, I think you're cooking with grease. So on this 6-game roadie, if you can go 3-3, I'm good with it. Give me 3 of them. I don't care which 3 you give me. Give me 3 on the end, give me 3 on the front, give me 3, spread them out. Just give me 3 of them. Give me 500 on that road trip, and we're going to be Gucci. 500 on the road trip, we're going to be Gucci. So that is what the week looks like. Again, you only have only two games this week, but it's going to be a very lengthy road, stretch coming up for the Atlanta Dream. Next up, it is time for Kiri and I to give our player of the week. And I'm missing my co-host, but I'm going to go ahead and do the player of the week by myself. And we're going to do it like that. So the player of the week, obviously, since the one game they played, and I mentioned it earlier, Jordan Canada just played her tail off versus Seattle. 25 points, 5 boards, 5 rebounds. She is a bottle of lightning. She's a bottle of lightning, man. And it's just a joy to see her playing. I'm hoping she's able to stay healthy. She drives me crazy because there's times I'm just like, yo, like, don't get hurt. Because she goes like so fast all the time. But I'm glad she's on this team and glad she's the point guard and she's having a great season. So shout out to Jordan, player of the week. Your gold medal should be in the mail. In the mail. Next up, as we bring the show to an end, we normally do our parting shots. And parting shots are just a time where we take some time out to just kind of clear our chest, talk about things that may not necessarily be sports related. And I typically let Kiri go first. But because my illustrious co-host is not here, I'm going to have to go first. So for today's parting shot, life stops for no man. It stops for no man. There are times that you got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on rocking, keep on rolling, regardless of how you may feel, regardless of what the situation is, right? I would have loved to be able to do the show with my lovely co-host today, and I'm sure she's going to be back by next week. And some other things fell through with some other co-hosts, but sometimes you got to grab the bull by the horn and you got to keep on trucking. As with this podcast, so in life, you know what I'm saying? There's maybe times where you're up, times where you're down, but life ain't going to stop. You got to keep on going, keep on moving, keep on trucking. So wherever you are in your life, whether you're down, whether you're up, whether you're in a pit, keep on moving. Eventually, that thing's going to keep on moving, and you got to move with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my parting shot on behalf of my illustrious co-host, Yakiri. We will see you guys next time. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. And next week, hopefully, we're talking about some dream wins. And we will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace and love. We out of here. Bye.